Joined now by former Minister of Transportation and Sports, Ibrahim Bio. Of course, Issa Bio Ibrahim. That's the name. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight.
Welcome to Newsnight.
Tonight. Well, first off, let's get your impressions about this list. I mean, does it meet your expectations in terms of the composition and even the time that it has taken for this list to come out finally? 59 days.
Thank you very much, because I first of all want to congratulate the members who have been so nominated, and at the same time congratulate the president himself. But we also have to thank the National Assembly for having amended the constitution, giving a timeline when ministerial nominees must be brought out. Unlike when we had 6 months during Buhari's time. We thank God this took about 59 days for it to come out. Because members of the Federal Executive Council is a constitutional provision. And for the government or the president to function effectively, he needs to have his cabinet in place. So far, so good, I can say. I've gone through the list. I've seen that it is made up of professionals, technocrats, political loyalists, and people who have worked for the success of Mr. President. In addition to that, it's mixed out of former governors. And most importantly, I've seen that most of my colleagues who are in the National Assembly are in the cabinet. And
so you'll be happy about that, definitely.
Well, I will be, because I believe the crux of political democracy is in the National Assembly, that is the legislative arm. They'll be able to understand how the executive works, having gained experience of how the legislature works. I look at some of them vertically in terms of age. I've seen a 36-year-old medical doctor there, Beta Edu, former commissioner from Cross River, and I believe such young person. He has traveled wide. He's a specialist in public health, and I think that's
just in the world.
Yes. And then I saw Ali Pate there, professor who is a Harvard lecturer.
Okay, now we're coming to.
I believe that it's a good mix of professionals and technocrats and political loyalists. Just like you have Wale Dunia, who has been his commissioner for education, for finance.
For finance.
And then we also have Alake, who has been his commissioner for
we're actually coming to.
So I believe that he has been able to carry the old friends, carry political loyalists, carry the campaign warriors, and then carry the women and the young at the same time.
Interesting. Okay then, because we're actually coming to the names one after the other. We need you to, we appreciate your observation of the list. But then, let's look at the nominees, because we look at them one after the other. What comes to mind is Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State. One would think, coming from the opposition, how did he make, well, we know the role he played. I mean, everybody knows that during the elections. But then, so how would he manage appointing an opposition member in his cabinet?
Well, thank you very much. If you can recall, during the time of President Olusegun Obasanjo, President Olusegun Obasanjo ran a unitary government. He invited ANPP members, he brought in AD members, and his PDP members to form his cabinet. So it is not strange in this case. However, I know that in a situation like this, Nyesom Wike is the only PDP card-carrying member in the list, as I found out. So I don't know how he's going to marry that, being a leader of PDP in Rivers State. It is, to me, it is apparent that Nyesom Wike is on his way out from PDP, because he cannot be serving in the government of APC and still be a card-carrying member or effective member of a party, of the opposition party, unless it is you are invited by the party, because if a situation arises when the president wants a unitary government, he can ask the parties to nominate candidate. But the president nominated Wike for his own, which means he's not a party candidate. So I cannot see him marrying, be a different political party, and be able to drive the agenda of APC and Mr. President effectively.
All right, we'll see how that pans out. Do we have enough time for one more question, or do we have to wrap it here? I mean, no information on the nominees and their portfolios, even their states. Does that even matter?
Well, from the list, from the cursory look of the list, I know from my own experience as a former minister, I know who is most likely going to where.
Right.
Like Wale Edun, who has been his commissioner for finance, you know he could definitely going to fit into finance portfolio. So I look at some other people like Olujimi Ojo, who is a electronics engineering and computer scientist and digital communication. Somebody will know most likely where he fit in. And I look at Hanatu, a lawyer and be a woman activist, an author. I know she'll be asked to mobilize women, which I think she has been able to do effectively. So from the cursory look of the list, without being told, one will be able to say, okay, this man, like Ali Pate, a professor of public health, and he was a former minister of state for health, and coming back again, he has been a lecturer at Harvard University. You know that definitely is a team that will be able to manage the health portfolio very effectively. So that's my own analysis. I'm not talking for Mr. President. Thank you for
coming on this night. Mr. Ibrahim is the former Minister of Transport and Sport. Thank you very much.